Honourable Madam Deputy Speaker, today we deal with Vote 1, the Presidency. Mr. President, it's common cause that you and your Presidency are currently under pressure. There are direct attempts to remove you as Head of State in terms of Section 89(1), while others pursue options in terms of Section 102(2) to pass a motion of no confidence. All of these is directly linked to the Phala Phala issue. This issue does have the potential to taint your legacy and to paralyze the remaining almost 3 years of your presidency. I know that you do not need any advice from me, but my advice would be to deal with this issue decisively and with haste. Put the true facts on the table and move on. Mr. President, the executive authority of the Republic is vested in you. You, the Cabinet, and the GNU are responsible to develop and implement national policy. That, Mr. President, includes our international relations policy. The measures and guidelines for enhanced coordination of South Africa's international engagements approved by Cabinet in 2009 to establish more effective measures to conduct our international relations and the implementation of South Africa's foreign policy needs a total overhaul. This is urgent. The world and a lot of things have changed since then. I believe South Africa needs to recalibrate aspects of our US policy. The US remains the largest economy in the world with the strongest military too. It is positive that both countries are now represented on ambassadorial level. A reset in relations with Washington that includes a spectacular new deal can and should be to our benefit and should be a priority. Let us address the outstanding issues that has prevented this possible spectacular deal until now. You know which issues I'm referring to, Mr. President. If you and the GNU can succeed in this, I can assure you that the current pressures on your presidency will pale into insignificance. It will pale into insignificance because the benefits will be there to see and experience for millions of South Africans. At the heart of the new deal should be a pact on critical minerals. South Africa could open strategic access to exploration, mining, and especially refining of the platinum group minerals, manganese, vanadium, rare earths, and titanium. The US could match this with long-term offtake commitments, targeted reserve build programs, and financing for processing capacity that goes beyond resource headlines to actual throughput. A Johannesburg-based critical minerals exchange hub linked to the US commodity markets could price, hedge, and de-risk flows. The strategic payoff would be immediate. The US secures trusted supplies for electrical vehicles, aircraft, and advanced manufacturing, while South Africa positions itself as a global processing and trading hub, not just a mine pit at the end of another country's value chain. A US-South Africa-Middle East hub for mining technology, supply chain traceability, and AI-driven monitoring will draw investment from the US private equity firms and Gulf sovereign wealth funds. A minerals first deal offers spectacular returns for South Africa. It could lift GDP by $40 billion and create about 500 jobs across mining, processing, energy, logistics, and services. The fixed investment rate would rise from 15% to 25%, enabling growth of 5% per year and halving unemployment over time. That is what we need now. Mr. President, our people are desperate for jobs. Such a transformation would stabilize South Africa and secure democracy. There is no comparable alternative trade deal that could make this possible. For us, for the US, direct gains from minerals, LNG support, exports, technology, and agricultural investments could exceed $75 billion. Such outcomes would justify reducing South Africa's general tariff rate to 10% and keep its privileges under AGOA. Mr. President, I believe that the Government of National Unity and South Africa's private sector are faced with a unique opportunity. With an open door to the White House, this is an opportune time to secure such a watershed deal, one that will deliver and for generations to come. You started your presidency in February 2018 and said, "Tuma Mina, send me." Mr. President, your mission is not concluded. You can secure your legacy, our democracy, and bring prosperity, jobs, and safety to millions of South Africans. I believe that Afrikaners and the Freedom Front Plus can assist in making this happen. Once again, here is my hand. Let's do this. Thank you, sir.